The lack of focus is why we have a lack of greatness. I wish I had said that. I know I just said that, but Jerry Seinfeld said that. It's harsh, right? And it's true. Ask yourself, how often have you gotten focused on something that was really important to you? And then you got distracted. We've all been there. I've been there, you've been there. New Year's Eve resolutions, right? We set these resolutions and then all of a sudden it drifts away. What if focus could be a habit so that your success was automatic, guaranteed? Tonight we're going to look at 4 ways of thinking, not techniques, but 4 ways of thinking that when you combine them together will create focus as a habit so that your success is automatic, guaranteed. You up for that?
Sure.
Okay, good. So people who try to get focused, they tend to rely on tricks and techniques and best practices like work offline or, I don't know, clean up their room or shut off the computer. Those are good. They're all great techniques. But what I learned as a magician is that the conscious mind is easily distracted. In fact, if you're taking notes, that's the first note. But you don't have to take notes because I'm going to give you the notes after the workshop. So you're going to have everything you need. So just enjoy yourself. So take your hand like this, put everything away. Take your hand like this and make a circle. So you're going to use your thumb and your forefingers, and you're going to make a circle just like this and just hold it out straight like that. Right? Everybody got it? Good. Now do it as fast as you can. Put it on your chin. And then look to your neighbor and say, this is your chin. Now some of you got it, right? Some of you got it, and some of you didn't. That's okay. All right, so the point is, here's the point. The point is the conscious mind is easily distracted. So let me show you this one. Maybe you haven't seen this one before. Take your hands like this. Now, if you're doing it right, your thumbs will be facing upward. Now you're going to take the left. And you're going to take the left and put it right over the right arm, just like this. Now, if you can do it, you're going to bring down the hands like this, and then you're going to hold it tight, really tight. Now, I can't see everybody because there's a lot of people here, but if you're doing it right, your thumbs will be on the bottom, and then your pinkies are on the top. Got it? Okay. So look here, focus here. On the count of 3, ready? Look up here. 1, 2, 3. You can do that. What? So how did I do it? Misdirection. That's how I did it. I wish you were with me. The year was 1972. It was Christmas. I'm at my grandparents', and there's 34 people in the room, all Italians except for my father and my uncle. They married into the Italian family. And this is way before computers and cell phones. However, there was a lot of distraction, Everyone is talking at the same time, and they're also listening to people. And all of a sudden, my uncle Victor Riley, who I adore, he's sitting next to me, and he says, Gregory, look. And he holds a coin in his hand like this, he goes like this, and then all of a sudden, it's gone. Now, I am 10 years old. It's my birthday on Christmas. I have never, ever seen anything like this. Uncle Vic, how? I was blown away. I could not believe it. I'd never been to a magic show, never knew that this existed. How did you do that? He said, Greg, I can't tell you. I said, come on, I can keep a secret. He said, so can I, Greg. But I got the secret from him. And here's the secret. It's all about misdirection. And so that was the night. This was 1972. I just turned 10. This was the night everything changed for me. And what he did was he introduced me to misdirection. And misdirection has 2 tricks up her sleeve. The first one is multitasking. How many of you do multitasking, right? We do it. We get rewarded for it all the time. Here's what I learned. Multitasking is not good for us. It's unhealthy for us. Every single year in America, 400,000 people get hurt because they're driving a car and something happens, cell phone goes off, 400,000 people in America go to the hospital because they're multitasking behind the wheel. People pick up the phone, they tap it, they swipe it, they click it 2,617 times a day. This is what happens. And when people get to work, they waste about 12 and a half hours per week. Now, some of you that are analytical, and I know you are, just do the math. There's 52 weeks in the year. Think about this. The average employee goes to work and wastes 12 and a half hours per week on the job that they're getting paid for. It's insane. Now, people actually crunch the numbers. $650 billion is wasted every year in America because people are not engaged. And sadly, 4,000 people die every year. You know why? They're driving, the cell phone goes off, that's the last time. It's pretty deadly. In business, I do a lot of sales training. In business, it's deadly. It kills relationships. Because here's the story. You walk into your house, you smell fire, you see fire, you don't multitask. You're like, one thing and one thing only because that's important. So when we're sitting with our customers and our clients, or even our friends and our family, hold on one second, I have to take this. You are telling them you are not as important as what I'm doing right now. It's not good for sales. It can kill your business. It can kill your department. It can kill your relationships at work. So multitasking, I know we all do it, but it's not really good for us, and it's not healthy for us, and it's really not productive. So if you have a goal, if you have a dream, you have something that you really want to make happen, the answer is not to multitask. Is to be so focused on that one thing, and to be really clear on that one thing, and not allow anyone to distract you. Now, the other thing that I learned from misdirection is information overload. Now, I'm going to give you a lot of information. You're not going to be able to keep up. So you do have a card. You can click on it. You can rate this presentation. I'll send you all the notes, and I'll also bribe you with a gift. It's a book that I wrote, so you're going to get all of this. But multitasking doesn't work, but information is even, overload is even worse, and I'll tell you why. We can't take it all in. We can't. George Miller wrote a paper many years ago called The Magical Number of 7. And what he said was this: there's billions and billions of bits of information that is going on in the room right now. Billions. And we cannot focus on everything. We can focus on, I don't know, maybe 7, give or take a couple. That is it. Now, if you want to see this, no, don't do this now, but if you want to see it, there's a video online called The Monkey Business Illusion. And you can Google it later and you can watch it. There's 2 teams. One team over here wearing all black, and another team over there wearing all white. They're passing the basketball in between. And you have to count how many times they're passing the basketball on this one team. Spoiler alert, the number is 16. In the middle of this, they have a guy about 7 foot tall that walks out in the middle, beats his breast, goes like this, and only 50% of the people actually see it. Because they're focusing on something else. Now, it's crazy. Google it afterwards, Monkey Business Illusion. It's amazing. Now, I don't have a gorilla, but if we played a game together like this, if I said to you, let's see, if I said to you, look around the room for 7 things that are red. You could say, okay, Greg is red, over here is red. You could count 7, you're wearing red, red, red. I see the exit signs. If we were to look around the room, we could easily find 7 things that are red. No problem. But then, if I said to you, now, let's focus on, let's see, 7 things that were blue. Okay, that's blue, the curtain's blue, you're wearing blue, you're wearing blue, you got a blue jacket. We could easily say 7 things that are red, right? You could do this, right? Are you with me? You could do this? 7 things that are red, 7 things that are blue. No problem. But then, if I said to you, well, let's add 7 more things that you didn't count the first time, that were red. Now you have to look at the rainbow in the back, because you didn't see that the first time. And then you start counting up things that you didn't see the first time. And then if I said, okay, what about 7 things that were blue on top of that? Now you're at information overload. You just can't do it. At that point, I could take off my tie and put on a new one, and half of you wouldn't see it. Because you're looking at other things, right? So they brought in the group. They said, this time, focus not only on counting the basketball being passed, but focus on the gorilla that walks center stage. Focus on that guy, the 7-foot-tall gorilla. So they show the movie. Everybody's sitting there. They're looking for the gorilla. Guy walks out, 7 foot tall, beats his breast. They stop it. They say, okay, did you see the gorilla? They said, yes, we did. Every single person in the audience saw the gorilla. And they said, did you notice that the curtain changed color? It was red. Now it's blue. No one did. Not a soul. Misdirection. So when I did this, I don't think anybody saw what I was doing. Would you like me to teach it to you? Okay. David Copperfield's a colleague of mine. He does a show in Vegas. You probably heard of him, never heard of me. But he does a show at the MGM, and David walks out. First thing he does is he gets everybody to do this, and then he does this, right? That's what he does. So I'm going to teach it to you, okay? But you have to promise that you don't tell anybody. Is that okay? Is that all right? Okay. So if you promise, please stand up. We'll do this together. All right? So this is fun. You can use it with your grandchildren. You can do it at work. All right? So let me show you what I did. All right? So I asked you to take your hands like this and then to have your thumbs facing upward. And then I said, now what I'd like you to do is take the left and place it over the right. That's, all right? If you could play along, that would be great. All right? And then I said, bring it around like this. And then hold it. Now, you never did it before, right? You've never done this before. So we're looking at multitasking here, right? And we're also looking at information overload because this is new to you. And then I said to you, wait for it. Wait for it. I said, if you're doing it right, your pinkies are right here and your thumbs are here. That's what I did. And then I did this. What do you think? I misdirected you. I did it right in front of you. So that's how easy it is to get misdirected. So I want to show you, but you're not going to remember this unless you do it with me, okay? So you'll remember this. So hold out your hands like this. Now this time I want you to watch me when I let go. So, you know, you're going to do it with your hands, but you're going to look up here to see me let go, right? Because I really want to know that you got it. All right, so you got the left here, and you bring it over here, and bring it right down like this, okay? Now, this is when I said, if you're doing it right, sir, you in the back, your pinky should be at the top, and your thumb should be at the bottom, and I looked over there to just get you to look over there. That's when I let go. But I don't have to, because I already did. You didn't see it. You didn't see it. That's misdirection. Now do this. Okay, now, before you sit down, find a partner, choose A and B. A goes first. Give 30 seconds to each person and share how you get misdirected in real life. You have 30 seconds. Go! 30 seconds.
You're A and B. Here. Oh, okay. What? There's such thing? Where?
Okay, switch. The other person should share. So switch. Give the other person to have a chance to share. The other person should share.
For second quarter, they printed it out. I was also looking at my first quarter.
Are you passing it?
Okay, time's up. Please have a seat. If you can hear my voice, please have a seat. Okay. So I have a gift. This is a gift that I normally sell for $95 when I do speaking events for corporations and sales groups. It has a bunch of books on here and audios. It's a downloadable gift card. I am not selling it today. I am giving it away today. I'm giving it away to the first person that raises their hand and shares how they are distracted. Yes, go ahead, tell us. Go ahead, tell us. Stand up, stand up. Stand up. Go ahead. How do you get distracted?
My school schedule.
Ah, I feel for you. How old are you?
13.
It's going to get worse. No, I'm kidding. What do you mean your school schedule?
Well, So when I look at the day, I always get the days mixed up. Like it goes different places, and I go into the wrong class, and you're like, are you?
Are you supposed to be here tonight? Yes, you are. Come up and get your gift. Give her a hand. That was a great share. Come on up. Yes, I'm cold. I love that. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. All right, so good. So participation's great. I'm going to be giving away other gifts. Some of them are worth more than $100. So if the conscious mind, if you're taking notes, the conscious mind is easily distracted, then maybe the answer is the unconscious. And I thought the same thing. It was a year later, it was 1973, December 26th. I had just turned 11 and one day. And I remember this like yesterday. I grew up in New Fairfield, Connecticut, not too far from here. We're sitting, my mom and I are sitting in the living room. My mom was really religious. Like, she sent money to the Pope, and she sent money to Billy Graham. Like, she wanted to cover all of her bases. And she was metaphysical, yeah? So she was really into this sort of thing, right? And Italian. And so all of a sudden, the television comes on. It is December 26, 1973, and it's a commercial for a movie. And I can still hear her. She says, "I can't wait." Sarcastically. She says it sarcastically. "I can't wait." And she rolls her big brown eyes. She's Italian. And I go, "Mom," now I'm 11, "Mom, it's just a movie." Anybody know what movie it was? Yes. The Exorcist. What are we going to say? What are we going to say? Okay. Yeah, no, right there, yeah. So it's The Exorcist. Like, she's really against this. And I say, "Mom, it's just a movie." And she goes, "Gregory?" I knew I was in trouble. I knew I was in trouble when she said that. She goes, "Gregory, be careful what you expose your mind to." Apparently she was right. These commercials haven't been on television for years. See if you can complete the sentence. Don't squeeze the Charmin. Yeah. You deserve a break today at McDonald's. You guys are scary. Where's the? Yeah. Okay. So we all been programmed. My mom knew this. Like, I was 11, so I didn't listen to her. I wish I did, but I didn't listen to her. But she was talking about programming. We've all been programmed. All of us have been programmed. In fact, you've been programmed even tonight as you walked in. So I'd like you to think of a number between 1 and 10, not like 3, because everybody thinks of 3. If the number that just popped into your mind was 7, be honest, raise your hand. Yeah, pretty good. You have been programmed. All right, I want you to think of a color, any color you want, any color. If you thought of a red or you thought of blue, you've been programmed. So commercials do this. If you've ever made the mistake of going to Disneyland and you go to that ride, it's a small world. It goes on in your head. If you've ever walked into a store and you come home with your groceries and you're still singing it, you've been programmed. We all have been programmed. The unconscious mind is stuck in programming. Now, the other thing that I learned from my mom is that conditioning is a little different. Conditioning is what we do to ourselves. Conditioning is what we do to ourselves. We have, on average, 45 to 65,000 thoughts every single day. Let me say that again. We have 45 to 65,000 thoughts every single day, and 90% of them are the same. Let that sink in for a second. I'll say it again. 45 to 65,000 thoughts every single day, 90% of them are the same. Now, people that study this, like neuroscience, they get really into this, they try to figure it out. 50 to 60%, this is scary, of what we think, of what we say, and what we do is on autopilot. It's crazy. You know, today is Wednesday, tomorrow is going to be pretty much the same day. How many of you have seen the movie Groundhog Day? Yeah. February 2nd. He's sleeping in bed, 6 o'clock, rise and shine campers, and don't forget your booties because it's cold outside. It's Groundhog Day. Now that's fine for February 2nd. When it happens again and again and again, he finally wakes up. He realizes that he's living the same day over and over and over. Every February 2nd, I watch that movie. Don't judge me. All right, so I have a pack of cards. How many choices in a pack of cards? Yeah, 52, you would think, right? So 52 choices. I want to pick somebody that, can you come up with the jacket? You have yellow? Yes, please, that would be great. So I have 52 choices. Just let me know, confirm because you're closest. Are all the cards different? Yes or no? Yeah, yeah. So in a pack of cards, you don't have the same card, you have different cards, you have different choices. Now watch this, this is interesting. We didn't work this out before, did we? And you don't know me, right? Sounds like you're happy about that. Okay, fine. I'm not going to take it personally, whatever. All right, so what we'll do is just interrupt by putting your finger in anywhere you want. Look at that card. Show it to the audience. What is it? It's a red 7. It is a 7 of hearts. It's coincidence. We've been talking about 7. We've been talking about, but that's okay. That's okay if we did it one time. So, all the cards different? Yes. I'll do a little shuffle. Hopefully we won't end up in the same place that we were. Now this time I'd like you to stop somewhere different. And she was very conscious about being at that different place, right? Look at that card. What do you got? 7 of hearts. Give her a hand, and I will give you this gift for coming up. This is for you. I appreciate that. All right? So that's what it's like. It's like saying, I have all of these choices, and then I end up picking the same thing over and over again, or doing the same thing over and over again. Does that sound familiar? Have you ever met anybody like that, where they kind of live their life like Groundhog Day? Now, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to find a different partner. And you're going to share how you repeat patterns, whether they be conditioning or programming, that you do over and over again, that self-sabotage you, that get you further and further away from the things that you want. Now this is difficult. This is not easy. And I'll tell you why it's not easy. Because they're unconscious. Because a lot of times, remember the movie, 6 o'clock, the alarm goes off, it's Groundhog Day. It's not a big deal. He's just living his life until it shows up again. Until it shows up again and again and again and again, and then he comes to his senses and he says, look, this is. So it's like this. If you woke up and someone came up to you and they said, what are you doing with those blue and red glasses? Like, you look cool, Greg, but if they said it to you, what are you doing with those blue and red glasses on? And you were born with these glasses. Like, you came out of the womb with these glasses, right? And you know, you looked at the world through lenses of blue and red, or conditioning and programming. And someone came up to you and said, why do you always do that? You're like, what do you mean, why do I always do that? I don't do that, right? If you're married, or you have friends that love you, they're going to point your glasses out. And a lot of times you're going to be in denial. You're going to say, no, I don't do that. That's not what I do. I know I want to lose weight, but I do eat a lot of food, but that's, you know, that's because of this and that. So it's hard to talk about these things because they're very close to us, and in addition to that, a lot of times we're not aware of it until we get the glasses knocked off, and then we realize, oh, it's 6 o'clock and I'm picking the 7 of hearts every time, and this is happening over and over again, and it's probably me. Okay, so, all right, so stand up. You got 30 seconds each. Find a different partner, and explain how you do this. How you do this. How you self-sabotage yourself, or how you run patterns over and over again.
Did I say something serious?
Okay, if you can switch and let your partner share. 30 seconds, switch.
I wonder who. But I'm saying to keep
Okay, wrap it up, and have a seat. Okay, I have another prize. I'm looking for another volunteer. This is not easy. Because we don't like to share these self-sabotaging patterns or programs or conditioning that we do. But that's the first step. You know, once we see, oh wow, I can see differently now. I can have different choices. I don't have to do what my parents did. I don't have to do what I did in my first marriage, or my second marriage, or my third marriage, or my fourth marriage. Yeah. Okay. Anybody? Yes. Give her applause for small but being brave.
Every day I say I'm going to put on my exercise video to do the exercises, and I rarely do.
Ah, give her a hand for doing that. Thank you for your bravery. Let me share. Here's what happened to me. In 1978, my mom died, and didn't expect it. Like, it was right after all these stories I just told you about my mom, and I was really close with her. My father comes home, says, you know, she's in the hospital for Christmas. My Christmas was spent without her that day, and coughed up some blood, and she died within 10 months. So 1978, she passed away, and I'm in high school, I'm 15 years old. Now, my brother was older, so I think it's a little easier when you're 30, 40 years older when you lose your parent. It's never easy. It's never easy when you lose somebody that's close to you. But at 15, my world was shook to the bone. Like, it was trauma. It was real trauma for me. But I rebound and pretty resilient, so I finished high school. I skipped a lot of classes, and I was, you know, I acted out in high school, but I kind of got my act together and I finished high school. And then I went to college and I got a degree. Then I went to graduate school, got another degree. Somewhat of an overachiever, got another degree. So I have a bunch of graduate degrees. And I think a lot of it had to do with my early loss. I was trying to prove my validity or something. But then I started seeing a pattern. I started seeing a pattern of destructive behavior with relationships, with personal relationships, and also with professional relationships. So what happened is, I got to a place where I was doing really well in my career, and I was married to the woman of my dreams, and then all of a sudden, I could spend an hour talking about the patterns and the situations, but it's bore you to death. It's basically me choosing the same people and the same situations over and over. It's like picking the 7 of hearts over and over again, and then saying, it's her, it's this boss, it's that, and blaming everybody else. And then finally, I lost my wife, she left. She didn't want to put up with it anymore, and I lost my job. And I remember specifically, I'm out in Parma, Ohio, and I walk outside, and I knelt down, and I'm not making this up, there's a little bit of snow, and a little bit of ice, and twigs, and leaves, and I was so stressed out that I didn't know what season it was. I had no idea whether we were in the winter going into spring, or whether we were in spring going into winter. I had, for about 30, 40 seconds, maybe 60 seconds, I was that shocked. I couldn't think. I was so depressed, was so upset, because the world was falling apart for me, which it did. And now, I did not know it back then. Now I know it, right? Now I know about the glasses, and I know about the programming, and I know about the conditioning. I know all about it. I spent the last 20 years studying what I'm sharing with you today. But at the time, I didn't know about it. All I knew was I needed to find some help, and I knew I couldn't do it myself. I just knew I couldn't do it myself. And lo and behold, I get a phone call to go out to London, England. And the phone rings, and this guy says to me, we want you to come out and speak in England. And I'm like, wow, well, you know, I've never been there before, I want to go. So I did. So I left, and I went to London, England to speak to a group of salespeople, about 35 salespeople. And it was customized. Like, I do customized work. It's not this lecture. It was a totally different workshop lecture. And they loved it. It was absolutely wonderful. The program guy was Ken Dine, and he said, I just absolutely love what you did here. And so there was somebody in the audience that liked it and said, we want to bring you to Vegas. And I'm like, okay, all right, fine, I'll go to Vegas. And so I went to Vegas and I gave another presentation to a different group, customized it for their group. They were talking about team building. And then after it was over, I found out there was a party in Vegas of executives and entertainers and movers and shakers in Vegas. And I thought, well, this is getting me out of my depression. This is getting me out of my sadness. This was fun. The only problem was I wasn't invited. It's true. So my friend Paul Draper was invited, and he could take 2 guests. So he took his girlfriend, and I called Paul. I said, Paul, I need a favor. I said, can you get me to the party? He goes, no problem. The reason I wanted to get to a party is because there was a guy there by the name of Kenton Nepper. Now, I know you've never heard of Kenton Nepper, but Kenton Nepper is a magician, performer, mind reader, and executive in the magic world. He's consulted people that are on stage, on television. And I just want, proximity is power. I wanted to rub shoulders with him. I wanted to get to know this guy. And not only did I think he could help me with my career, I kind of thought he could help me with my personal life. And he's very compassionate, very empathetic. So I got to meet this guy, and I got the courage up to ask him to coach me and to mentor me, which he did. And I paid him a lot of money, and I moved into his house. I did. I literally moved into his house. His wife left for 2 days, 1 night, and we worked around the clock on my business. I said, Kenton, I want to talk to you about my business. Maybe you can get me a show in Vegas, or maybe you can help me. So I went to him focusing 100% on my business. Little did I know we were going to work on my personal life. And they're connected, the focus of both. And so we did. So it was like yesterday. We're sitting in the kitchen, and I'm explaining to him this concept that I have. The name of my company is called Diamond Mind Potential. So I shared with him the idea of as above, so below. Some of you have heard this before. And I drew a triangle, or I talked to him. I said, imagine a triangle like this, Kenton, and then a triangle below. And this is the conscious mind, and this is the unconscious mind. And I want to talk about, and I couldn't get it out of my mouth. He's like, meditation? I said, yeah. He said, Greg, corporate audiences are not going to pay for meditation. I said, okay, fine. He said, what about reflection? He goes, reflection, like a mirror. Like, this is a mirror of this. I said, that's great. Now we're just brainstorming, right? We literally work till midnight almost every night, right? So we're talking about reflection. We're talking about mirror, as above, so below. We're talking about all of this stuff. And finally he says, Greg, let's just take a 15-minute break. I said, okay, fine. So I'm sitting in the kitchen. He goes upstairs. And if you know me, I love books. I walk into his library. He had this long, big library with books, like 1,000 books. Now, when I tell you this, you're thinking I'm fibbing and making this up. I'm not making this up. So I walk into his library, and I look at all these books along the wall, this nice wooden bookshelves. And I reach out to one of the books called The History of Magic. It's called The History of Magic. And I took the book off the shelf, one book. He's upstairs, take the book, I open it up to page, I still remember the page, it was 103. I open the book, and inside the book is a graphic, is a drawing of a diamond facing forward, and a diamond facing down, and a connection and a circle around it. So I'm sitting there going, this is crazy. It's true. So I close the book. About 5 minutes later, he comes downstairs, and I say, Kenton, what is this? He said, what's the matter? He has no knowledge of what happened. I said, Kenton, you went upstairs. I walked into your library. There's 1,000 books. I took out one book randomly, The Magic or the History of Magic, and I opened it up. This is what we were talking about, Kenton. He looks at me and he goes, that's the magic of focus. I said, what? He says, that's the magic of focus. That's what I've been talking to you about. So what Kenton taught me was this. Yes, the conscious mind is easily distracted. The unconscious mind is stuck. But what Kenton taught me was that if you want to create real magic in your life and focus, you must align your mind. So the picture was the conscious, the unconscious, and the connection between it. I remember the story like yesterday. It shocked me. And some of you probably don't believe it's true, but it's absolutely true. You can reach out to this guy on social media and he'll confirm it for you. But what he taught me was this. And we spent a lot of time talking about this. I don't have all the time to share everything. That's why I put it on this card, so some of you are going to get it. He said to me, imagination is the key. Imagination. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, look at Walt Disney. He had an imagination room where he would walk into the room and he would imagine his future self and what he wanted to create. Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Imagination. So, can I teach it to you? All right, this is a real secret. This is, you know, the minority came out for this. I'm happy you're here. Take your right hand, lift it up. Take your left hand. You think I'm going to trick you, but I'm not. I'm not here to trick you. All right, so the two fingers, your index fingers, represent on the right. Your right is your conscious mind. The left is your unconscious mind. Think of it as the sun and the moon, right? We had a full moon the other day, the wolf moon. So the sun is the conscious. The moon is the unconscious. So here's what you're going to do, right? You're going to bring this together like this, just slowly, two hands, bring it together, 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 and then close it really tight. Now, bring your two index fingers up and separate them and look between the two index fingers and imagine that you have a magnet pulling the conscious and the unconscious together, slowly, slowly. Now, I have to use your imagination. If you fight this and don't use your imagination, it won't work. But if you use your imagination, you'll see that the conscious and the unconscious spine come together. How many of you got it? Good. All right. Let go. All right. So, very good. So, here's what he shared with me. When you align your mind, you can create magic. Now, the reason why people go to therapy, and I know some of you probably suspect that I have, you would be right, is because the conscious mind is out of line. If you talk to a therapist, if you know people that are therapists, they'll say the reason why people go to therapy is because this is out of line with this. They want something, but this wants something else. And so that's why, unless it's trauma or unless it's something like a situation thing. But in most cases, the reason why people go to therapy is because the conscious mind is not aligned with the unconscious mind. When you align this and this, magic happens. So, let me show you another one. A lemon. I'm holding a lemon in my hand. How many of you see it? See it? So I got a lemon in my hand. You got to use your imagination. You got to play along. You got to let your analytical mind kind of disappear. So here I have a lemon in my hand, right? So I'm going to take the lemon and see how well you go on this journey with me. Take the lemon, smell it. And then if I touch the lemon, I can feel the bumps on it. Yeah. Then I'm going to take a knife. This is my knife. I have a knife here and I have a lemon here. And I'm going to hold it up. And I'm going to cut into the lemon. Cut into the lemon. Now, what happens here is that the juices of the lemon start coming down my arm, and I can really smell it. Now, if you're with me, I'm going to bite into the lemon. Watch. How many of you went on the journey with me? Okay. My friend James Mapes, who's been a mentor for me many, many years, he actually does this on stage. He actually walks out with a real lemon. If you've ever seen James, he's a hypnotist, and he takes the lemon, he cuts it, and the water comes down, and he literally bites into it. But then he has to go off stage for like a minute to get, you know, I didn't do that. But how many of you actually, raise your hand really high so I know who you are, that you actually felt it? Okay, anybody over here, this is imagination, okay, maybe, okay, all right, great. All right, so this is for the group over here that didn't see it, and I'll show you what I'll do. I'll make it a little easier for those of you. There's the lemon. You laugh. Wait till you see what happens. Okay, so now we're adding a little more. We're adding the visual. We're seeing if we can take you on the imagination like a movie, because here is a lemon, right? So, oh, I have an idea. Rather than just watch me, let's do this together. Hold out your hand. You got a lemon here. Take a look at your lemon. There you go. Now, in the other hand, you have a knife, right? So you have a knife. See my knife? And you have a lemon, just like that, actually. So you're going to take and you're going to smell. Got it? Okay. Then maybe you're going to take the lemon and touch it. You can feel that there's a lot of bumps there, right? Okay, good. Yeah, now you're going to take your knife. See my knife, right? You're going to take your knife, and you're going to cut into the lemon. Cut right into that lemon. Oh, now all the juices, I'm looking down, all of the juices are going down my wrist, and then do it with me, We're trying to fire off mirror neurons together. Oh! All right. Any different? Did we take it up a notch? What happened? Does anybody want to share? Who actually had an experience on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 is like, didn't feel a darn thing. And 10 is like, yeah, I felt it. You did? Yeah, you're in the orange. You felt it. What's your name?
Tracy.
Tracy. Explain your experience, Tracy. How did it feel?
I really smelled it. I really felt it.
Okay.
It was really interesting.
Okay.
I had to let go of that it was that. I had to let my imagination.
Yeah, sure. And you just went with it.
Still smell it. Yeah.
Okay, all right, so let's do this. It's a lemon. We didn't work this out. This is a knife. So she actually experienced it. Anybody over here actually experienced it? The lemon and the knife. Anybody? Yes? Okay, so to make this work, could you raise your hand? I'm looking for a volunteer. That would be you! Come on up. No, seriously, it'll be real quick. It'll be really fun. Come on. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, says Peter Pan. All right. So we're getting this on camera because I want to start a cult. No. So tell everybody what you experienced when you saw the knife and you saw the lemon.
I really felt when you described it, and then my imagination was able to take over. Yes, I know what a lemon is, but then I really I still smell it.
You do smell the lemon.
I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I took the knife and I cut into it, did you see the knife?
Yes.
Did you? And how sharp was that knife?
Mine was a little dull, so
Oh,
I had to
okay.
work into it.
Mine was a little dull too, just a little bit. But I suggested a knife, and it's possible that you thought you saw a knife.
I have a fork.
I have a fork. And you saw a lemon, did you? Did you see a lemon?
Yes.
No, this is not a lemon. It looks like a lemon. I can see that you thought it was a lemon, right? But I have a fork here. Why don't you take a look at this and open it up? Just open it up and show everyone what it is.
Imagination.
All of this applause is for you, and this is for you as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That is wonderful. All right. If the conscious mind is easily distracted and the unconscious mind is stuck, and the secret is to align your mind. Do you want to figure out, and can I teach you? Can I teach you the secret? It's really simple, 4 steps of thinking that when you apply it together will create focus as a habit so that your success is automatic. You want to see it? Are you sure?
Yes.
Let me hear some applause. Oh, okay, open the curtain. That's wonderful. Go ahead, open the curtain. Good, all right. So this is what Kenton shared with me. You got a good shot, or the mic in the way? Okay, good. So this is what he shared with me. 4 ways of thinking. And it's really simple. Some people will see this and go, oh, this is so simple. This is life-changing. It's changed my life. It's changed a lot of people that I've worked with. The first step is to realize that above here, you have unlimited possibilities. There are millions and billions of possibilities for you in 2025 and the next 5 to 10 years. There's millions of things that you can focus on. That's the problem. There's so many distractions, especially with the internet and all these things. So you have to get clear. You have to get really, truly clear on what's important to you. So you have to take it and bring it down and write it down. That's the first step. So if you're writing this down or you'll get the notes afterwards, the first step is really simple. You have to get clear on what you want. Now, a lot of people will say, I want to make money. That's not clear. Or I want to get healthy. That's not clear. or I want to find the man or woman of my dreams. That's not clear. What I'm saying is I want to be $1 million, or have $1 million, or I want to be 200 pounds, or I want to meet a guy 6 feet, or I want to meet a, you know, it's like really, truly specific. It has to be specific. General, your mind is not going to really help you with. So the first step is to write it down. That's here. So you figure out what it is, you bring it down, and you write it down. That's the first step. The second step is you use your imagination to see it, to actually see it as it already is. So I used to live in Cleveland, Ohio. I dated a woman that went to high school with Drew Carey. So I heard this story firsthand. Drew Carey was a stand-up comedian, and he wanted to be on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. So what he did was he rehearsed it in his mind over and over and over again. He rehearsed coming out of the curtain, doing his 6-minute set, and then looking over to Johnny, and then Johnny called him over to sit down. He did this so many times. He knew what he wanted. He used his imagination, and he visualized it, and then deja vu, it became a reality. One day, he went on The Tonight Show, Johnny calls him over after the set, and he sits down, and it's like, he already did it 1,000,000 times, right? So I've been working on this lecture for 8 years. I've been working on the philosophy behind it for 20, and this is deja vu, right? The information I'm sharing with you is so clear to me because this is what's changed. Well, a few years back, I was in Ohio, and I saw David Letterman on television, and I said, I'd like to meet this guy. Crazy idea. I did this, 1995, I'm on David Letterman. I think it was CBS? Yeah, CBS, The Late Show with David Letterman. 6 million people saw me. It was a long time ago. Today, it'd be great if 1 million people saw you because so many people have so many choices these days. But it began in my imagination. The next one is over here with the sun, and that is auto-suggestion. That is what you say to yourself. So a lot of my clients, they'll say, I want to lose weight, or I want to do this, or I want to do that, but then they self-sabotage themselves by what they say. They'll say, well, I don't want this, or I don't deserve this, right? That's not going to work. So you want to align these 4 things in that you know what you want, you see it, you say it, and then the last step is you do it. You actually do it. So the way I remember this is earth, water, fire, and air. 4 elements. This is earth, this is water, this is fire, and this is air, the four elements. So when you add them together, now, does this mean you go home and you write down something like money, $500, $1,000, and it comes right away to you? What I'm talking about is a ritual. What I'm talking about is a habit. So when your focus, whatever's important to you, and everybody's different, when your focus becomes a habit, your success will be automatic. And for the rest of the world, they'll think it's magic. But it's repetitive. You do it over and over again like Groundhog Day so that you're conditioning not only your conscious mind, but also your unconscious mind. So I asked you to write something down, yes? Okay. So for the sake of time, she wrote something down. Did I see it?
No.
And did you share it with anybody? Did you go up to the cameraman and share it with him? It's been sealed the whole time. And tell everybody your first name.
Kelsey.
Kelsey. Can I do a demo with you on this to show everybody how powerful this is?
Sure.
Okay, come on up. Give her a hand.
Oh, God.
Oh, you'll be fine. Come on up. You don't need anything for that. Put it in your back pocket and come on up. All right. All righty. Good. So we're going to take her through the 4 steps. The first step she already did because to save time, and a lot of times people come up and they say, oh, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. I'm not sure what I want. And I understand because there's millions of choices, but she was able to write it and didn't show it to me. That's the truth. All right. So that's the first step. The second step is I want you to look up here and I want you to imagine. So close your eyes. She's going to close her eyes. Close your eyes. And this looks like hypnosis. Because it is. All right? It is. It's hypnosis. So close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that what you wrote down, you already have. All right? So she's smiling. That's a good thing. She's smiling. So is it black and white, or is it... Keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
Yeah, I want you to see it. Is it black and white or color? Ah.
Color.
Color, good, 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 good. Is it far away or close to you? Is it really far away or is it close to you?
Close.
Oh, it's good, so it's in color and it's close to her. Very good. All right, so I want you to see it vivid and then bring it in closer and closer and closer. Okay, great, now open your eyes. All right, so she wrote down something, she's visualizing it, right? And for the sake of time, we're going through this really quickly. Now last, we're going over here to saying things to herself. Auto-suggestion. Auto-suggestion can work for you, or it can work against you. People say, I'm an idiot, this is never going to work, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we all do this. We all have this demon on our shoulder, right? And we also have the angel on our shoulder. So it depends on who we listen to. So can you say something to yourself? Don't say it out loud because you'll give this away. Oh, by the way, whatever you write down, you should keep it a secret. Keep it a secret. Why? Because if you write down a millionaire or you write down something, your friends and family are going to pull you down. They're going to pull you down and say, who do you think you are? So you keep it a secret, and then when you're doing things, then they'll say, how did you do that? And you're like, well, believe me, you keep it a secret. So can you say something to yourself that would be very positive, but don't say it out loud, that would help you to move closer and closer to this? Could you say it? Do you have something? So she's going inward, she's thinking, right? You got it? Something. Okay, and you're smiling, okay? So here's what we did. She writes it down, she sees it, she says it. Now, what is missing? What is the one thing that's missing that we haven't done yet? She has to do something, right? She has to take action, you know? And some people say take massive action, but sometimes it's just a baby step, just one little step. Now, here's the philosophy. When you make focus a habit, your success will be automatic. Let's say that together. When you make focus a habit, your success will be automatic. So what happens is you don't quit on the first day. You do this over and over again. You see it, you write it, you imagine it, you say it, and you do it. And you keep on doing this over and over again until your conscious mind is aligned with your unconscious mind, and you make happen what you say you want. So, I'm going to take action here. So I have an A, I have a B, and I have a C. In one of these cards is a card that says you have your dream. You have what you wrote down. You have what you have wrote, thought, said, and it's all there, and it is confirmation that what you're doing is right. The other cards, the other ones, are red, and they say N-O-P-E. Nope, right? So you have a choice. But you know, it does require risk, because when you do something, it doesn't mean it's going to happen immediately. I mean, you have to get out there and see what's going to happen. So I'm going to put A over here, right there. I'm going to put B over here. And if you could put C over there where that one is, way over there. Okay. If you could stand right in front of here. Now, do you have any questions about this at all? Are you clear about that? You're clear? You're clear about the diagram?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Good. So the only thing that's missing is her to get outside of her comfort zone. When I went to London, I had to get out of my comfort zone. Then I went to Vegas, and I met Kenton. I moved into his house. I thought, this is crazy. This is way outside of my comfort zone. You got to get outside of your comfort zone. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to stand behind this A, or this B, or this C, and I'm not going to ask you to change your mind. I don't want you to think, oh, he was manipulating me, 4 o'clock in the morning, I chose, but you know, so whatever you choose is what's going to happen. I already knew that. Okay. So, had she chosen this, which she didn't, because she's not going to change her mind. Oh, very nice. Nope. Nope. Oh, by the way, nothing else? Nothing else? Nope. All right, so now we have a 50-50, choice, right? Okay, good. This is the reason why I don't ask people to change their mind. Had she chose this, which I knew she wasn't going to choose, by the way. Nope. N-O-P-E. Nope. All right, so A is what she's got. B is, no, she didn't choose that. Didn't choose that. She only chose this. Now, I could have had nope in there too, right? And just be like, okay, hold on one second. This is what she chose. And I knew she was going to choose A. Suspense is killing me. Wait till you see this. Okay, anything else in there?
No.
Okay, nope. The answer is nope. Trying to condition her. Nope, nope, nope. Anything in here? Nope. Nothing in there. Nothing in here. Okay, so what does it say?
Note to your unconscious mind.
That's interesting. No, not yet. You'll kill the suspense. Can you stand over here where this is right here? And your name again.
Tracy.
Yeah, come on, Tracy. Can you come up these stairs? Give her a round of applause. Now, we have not worked this out.
Correct.
Correct, right? And if anybody can prove that I worked this out, I will offer $1 million to the Happiness Club. Now, I don't have $1 million, but if I did have $1 million, you know, one day I'll have $1 million. If you're still here, we didn't work this out either, right? Okay. So could you stand looking to the clock, and could you do the same exact thing that she's doing, but over here? Give me a little bit of space so I can, oh yeah. Well, actually, this would be nice, Okay, so just move just a little bit that way.
Me?
Okay, yeah, both of you, so I got a little breathing room. Okay. She did perfectly. She did. She wrote something down. She imagined it, imagination. She said something to herself, and she took action. Now, she could have chose the other, but she chose the A, and she's getting a note here that says, to my unconscious mind, a note to my unconscious mind. So she represents the conscious mind, which is here. You, volunteering for her, represents the unconscious mind. So give her the note. It's a note to your unconscious mind. Now, don't open it yet. All righty. Put that behind your back with one hand, and then if you can extend this hand out here.
This one?
This one, probably because of, yeah, the left one, and then if you could do the left one as well. Left one as well. So hold on. Okay, good. All right, so here's how you have to use your imagination for this to work. Watch this. Watch this. Conscious mind, unconscious mind. Close your eyes, it's a safe place. Close your eyes, it's a safe place. Now, your arm is getting heavier. Now, I'll tell you why it's getting heavier. Because imagine there's a rope tied around your wrist, where your watch is or where your wrist is. And below the rope is a bucket. Now, right now, it's okay, but I'm putting a brick into the bucket. And I'm putting a brick into the bucket. And what's happening is, you're feeling the tension of the weight on your wrist. It's going down and down. Now you can fight this, but why would you? Because when you use your imagination, you're tapping into your focus. In fact, if you go to Salem and ask a witch how she performs magic, she'll say focus. If you go to Vegas and talk to a magician, they'll say focus as well. And they'll say it's imagination. Now I put another brick, and then I put another brick. And now you're noticing that your arm is going down, down. Now I'm putting another brick. Now I'm putting another brick. At this point, there's like 25 pounds inside this bucket, and your arm is starting to go down, down, down. Can you feel the weight? Now what I find is very intelligent people get this. Right? It's getting heavier. Oh, yours is going down. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, you feel that? It's very, her arm is going down. Is your arm going down? Are you cooperating at all? Do you want to cooperate?
I want to cooperate.
All right, can you feel the weight?
Yes.
Okay, so at that point, you won't be able to hold it any further. You're probably going to have to go down. Your arm is getting, yeah, go down further. Just drop your arm slowly. Slowly. Go ahead. Slowly. It's getting heavier now, even more heavier. All right, don't fight it. Just let your arm go down. Okay? Down. Just drop it. Down. Now I'm putting more weight on it. Her arm's going down. It's almost near her side. So you want to bring your arm down. Down, go down. Excellent. Keep on going. Keep on going. Excellent. Good. Down. All the way to its pointing the ground. Good. Very good. All right. Excellent. Very good. All right. You can relax. You can relax. Now with your eyes closed, I want you to focus. I want you to focus. I just want you to focus. Now, if you are connected and you felt a tap or tap, raise your left hand now. That's the magic of focus. You can put your arm down. All right, open your eyes. Open your eyes. Now, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to focus, but not now. And then I would like you to open your eyes and open that envelope. Go ahead. Now, you wrote something down. Focus on what you wrote down. Focus on what you wrote down. It is sealed very nicely. This is a note to the unconscious mind, by the way. No, you can tear it. Into the microphone, read that word.
Love.
What did you write down?
Love.
Give him a hand. Thank you so much. You can go this way, and you can go this way. Hopefully you'll meet later and talk about it. At this point, I take questions and answers. We have a few minutes here if anybody has any questions and answers. I think they did great, right? Yeah. Alignment of the conscious and the unconscious mind. Okay, so I have a gift. I have a gift before we close. And thank you for hosting me. This is my third Happiness Club, and I am happy to be here. I have this gift. Now, let me tell you what's on here. There are books that Kenton never wrote that you can't buy in the market, right? I put them on this downloadable card. Plus, I wrote a couple books myself. Plus, I put audios. I sell this for $95. Now, not to you that I already have one, but the question is, who would like this? Anybody? Yeah, you have one already.
I didn't get one.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. So let me ask everybody, what would she have to do to get one? All right, so you want this? Okay, good.
Take action.
Yeah, you can. You have to take action. That's exactly what this is about. That's why I didn't give it to you. I wanted to see if you got the lesson. Listen, we've been here for an hour. That's the lesson. You see it, you say it, you think it, you do it. That's simple. But most people are so distracted. They don't know what they want. In addition to that, they don't know how to get it. And they also self-sabotage themselves. But what I'm sharing with you is real magic. Any other questions? Do we have any questions? So take a question or two, and then we're going to wrap it up. I know you probably want to get home. Anybody have a question? Thoughts, concerns? How did I do that? That was magic. Right? I don't know how you felt when that was read in that microphone when she said love, but that's how I felt when I opened up the book and I said, Kenton, what is this? He says, Greg, that's the magic of focus. That's what really happened to me.
So what she read, love, it wasn't what she wrote down. I mean, the physical, right?
Look at the card that you have in your hand. Did you write that down?
No.
No. What she wrote down is there. Look at it. That's your handwriting. L-O-V-E is your handwriting. Do you have that card? Give it back to her. Give it back to her. That's a good question. L-O-V-E. You wrote that. Give it to her. That's hers. L-O-V-E. Look at that. Confirm that that's your handwriting. Is that your handwriting?
Yes.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, that is her handwriting. She can't have the handwriting in A, B, and C. That would be impossible. What you just saw was a miracle, and usually people stand up and applaud, but that's okay. Come up here. I want you to come up here. I want you to come. Yeah, please. I want you to validate that that is exactly what you wrote. That is not. This is not a forgery.
I'm trying to figure out
Yeah, you're never going to figure it out, love. Love, you're never going to figure it out. Love, I've been doing this for 20 years. Come on up here to the microphone. Yes, this is Love in her handwriting. It didn't show up in the other two. No, you don't understand. In this one,
Yeah, so that one was
this one's blank.
not.
This is hers. Exactly. Is that you? That's what you wrote. I owe you $1 million. Thank you for pointing that out. That's right. I don't know. That blows my mind. She could have stood behind the other two.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have worked out. We would have just gone home early, that's all. So my mentor was the amazing Kreskin. I met him in high school in Fairfield, Connecticut. I was sitting where you were sitting. He pulled me out of the audience. He did hypnosis on me. I handed him my business card. That was 1981. And then we drifted for 20 years. And then in the last 5, we got to know each other. Our paths crossed, and he talked to me. The last time I talked to him was January 12th, his birthday last year. And then he just died in December. What a great guy. He just loved this art. He loved the mind, the power of the mind. He would help corporations focus on how to make things happen. And then he would entertain people. So he's kind of my muse. So some of the ideas that come to me, I just say, these are not mine. I don't know where they're coming from. But I honor him, the amazing Kreskin. So, any other questions before we close? So my journey began on Christmas. My journey began on Christmas. And I would get up early in the morning, I would go downstairs, and I would see the gift. I always got good gifts. I always got great gifts. I don't remember all the gifts, but I would get unbelievable gifts. I would never get coal. Never, no. I was a good boy. I mean, I was naughty, it's just that my parents didn't know. I never got coal, ever got coal, ever. Never got coal. But you know, I got to tell you, I don't remember all the gifts that I got. I mean, I've received so many different things. My birthday's on Christmas, and people will say, you know, Greg, you probably got cheated because your birthday. I never got cheated. I never felt cheated at all. I think the greatest gift was when my uncle said, Greg, come here. I said, what? Big room, people talking. He says, Greg, I want to show you something. I'll never forget it. He takes the quarter like this. He goes, Greg, come here. He goes like this. I'm 10 years old, and it's gone. And I'm like, no way. No way. And it still amazes me. But I think the greatest gift that I received when I really think about it is not the coin trick, because that's just a coin trick, by the way. I think the greatest gift that I received from Uncle Vic is that I learned from him that the conscious mind is easily distracted. And it is. And what I learned from my mother was that the conscious mind isn't running the show, it's the unconscious mind, which is a lot bigger. It's like a rock, and it has programming and conditioning. But what I learned from Kenton was that when you align your mind, you can create what looks to be real magic. When you make focus a habit, your success will be automatic. There's the diamond.